What is going on around you? How do you feel on a morning like this? Are you filled with hope? Do you have enough fear of the future? Now, a better future is a product of great leadership. I have looked at the system. Leadership is key. In fact, leadership is the ultimate goal of the time. Why am I saying this? Great leadership, especially great political leadership, is a beacon of hope. Great leadership inspires a nation. And when I say inspiration, it inspires a nation towards progress. Great leadership is motivating. You will see the energy of the people resonating. You will see the people marching. You would see are people that are patriotic. They will want to save their land. Leaders like Nelson Mandela, Lee Kuan Yew are examples of great and inspiring leadership. You know, Nelson Mandela united a divided South Africa. What about Abraham Lincoln of the United States of America? He preserved a fractured nation. And these names exemplify the transformative power of principled leadership. Come closer to home. Obafemi Awolowo. Great leadership. Obafemi Awolowo was so inspirational that one of the greatest myths of the Nigerian state was not having him as the leader of Nigeria. When you talk of great leadership, you would understand that their unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and the greater good reminds us that even in the face of adversity, greatness can emerge. Great leadership is not about becoming faultless, no. It's about learning to grow a country, learning to develop a country. Today, let the legacy of great leaders remind us that strong leaders can shape history and lead us to a brighter future. Have you woken up your sons and daughters? Hey, mommy, are they still sleeping? Tell them to wake up, that the radio man has come. Hey, Papa, are you by your radio set? I can see you. Good morning, Papa. Papa, is your son beside you? Is your daughter with you? Tell them to listen attentively, that I have a task for them, and that task is the task of great leadership. that they cannot afford to make the mistakes of the moment, that the future I see is their hearts that I examine all the time. Hey, you little boy, hey, little girl, listening to the radio man, you've got a future to build for us. It's a task that must be done. Wake up and you will rise and shine. We got Africa to build. We want to build airplanes and you will build them. We want to have 24-hour electricity. You will construct the turbines, the geothermal stations, you will build them. We want to have some of the greatest universities in the world. You will teach there. We want to uplift our medical systems to be the best in the world. You will be a doctor there. Hey, hey little girl, how are you? Wake up, the radio man is here. Are you in this class of politics and power? Awolowo is the theme of this class. Obafemi Awolowo, a former premier of the Western region, he's an example of great leadership. Since we cannot take examples from the present leadership at the state's local government and federal level, let's go back into the past and inspire the future. The leadership of the moment, the leadership of yesterday have not done well. The reason we are poor. We cannot afford to be poor tomorrow. I'm tired of seeing poor people everywhere. Edmondo Bilo, wake up. Shalare must wake up. Tunde Olawo, wake up. We got a country to build. Sheyi Makinde, wake up. I'm tired of seeing potholes everywhere. I'm tired. I'm tired of talking about no electricity. I'm tired. I'm tired of talking about no food. 6 miles to the moon, let's fly. I'm tired of talking about insecurity. I'm tired. But I'm inspired to talk about great leadership. Welcome to my word, the radio man's word. On the front page of the Saturday Sun, or the Saturday Punch, subsidy, marketers demand transparency as ex-depot cost exceeds pump price. Is Tinubu paying subsidy from behind? Because they are saying that marketers demand transparency as ex-depot price exceeds pump price. So who is paying the extra to the marketers? Is Tinubu paying from behind? Hey, Mr. Tinubu, I'm watching you. What has the removal of subsidy done to you? If you met President Tinubu, what would you tell him? If you met Sheyi Makinde, what would you tell him? You know, I was driving around town, I was asking, how do we solve the problem of potholes everywhere? How do we solve? It's everywhere. Is it just about failure of government, or we need to develop new materials to construct our roads? It seems the tires are not working. Do we need to launch new research? Do we need concrete road? The rains are heavy and they are messing up the road, no doubt. How come government don't have the capacity to manage the roads? Because it is clear that governments don't have the capacity to manage the roads from Dugbe Challenge, Iwo Road. There's potholes everywhere. It's not just about your state. In Lagos State, there are potholes. Anywhere you go, potholes. I am thinking that we need to develop new materials for road construction so that our roads would last. Because we have heavy rains. And when the rains come, they do their damage. I'm just thinking, if you are a scientist in the Polytechnic, in the university, can you give us new materials for road construction? Something durable, so that we don't have to be filling up the roads every 1 month. Federal government insisting on current petrol price means subsidy is back. Can you see that rider? You know, Tinubu floated the currency and he started pumping up. Boom, boom, boom. Now they've gone to collect billions of dollars as loan from Afrexim Bank. I hope you know. So Tinubu is on the loan reign again. But this time it's NNPC that went to collect it. But it's still national loan. Why the billions? Perhaps to stabilize the dollar. Will they steal the money? Because sometimes when I see they collect the money, you will think it will work. But it never works. It never works. So will they share the money among themselves? Floating the currency, market forces. Have you wondered? You know, in this era, they say that government cannot manage business. But most of the projects that were executed by Obafemi Awolowo were executed by government institutions. Government institutions. Western Nigerian institutions executed most of the projects, not the private sector. So why is it that in our own, are you saying when you are in government, you now lose the ability to manage resources? Is that what we're saying? Market forces. We have picked D-Day for Niger War, ECOWAS defense chiefs. We have picked D-Day for Niger War, ECOWAS defense chiefs. All right. Let them go to war. Olubadan suspends Mogaji who sealed houses over land case. You know, there are times it seems as if we are lawless. You know, anybody can just wake up and do anything and get away with it. It's not, you just get away with it. Nothing will happen. You know, you can even buy the police. You can buy the police and the police will work for you. They just have money. You have your way. You can even bring in the army to come and beat up people in your area. You know, and you get away with it. You know, I hope she will not allow them to bring Amotekun to beat somebody up. You know, the way we mismanage our institutions. You just come lock up a whole area. You know, you don't think of the consequences. So people will not have access to their... You know, the law. You know, the law is not unreasonable. The law should not be unreasonable. There are ways we can apply the law and be able to calm society. No, we are not servants to the law or slaves to the law. We are not slaves to the law. The law is meant to govern man so that there will be peace and justice in the land. And when the law makes the people slaves, then we should tackle the law. That's how states grow. Have you read the book, Why Nations Fail? Have you read that book, Why Nations Fail? You should read it. Nominations open for 2023 Obafemi Awolowo Leadership Prize. You'll find that story on the front page of the Saturday Tribune. Every Sokoto person has relations in Niger Danfodio was born there, PDP chieftain. So are they saying Niger is Nigeria? Is that what they are saying? Perhaps Buhari is from Niger too. No. So they are saying Tinubu, don't go and tackle our brothers. But Tinubu is not going to fight here, bro. He wants to remove the military guys. You know, on a good day, there's this analysis that Nigeria, in this battle with Niger, is dancing to the tune of France and America. On a good day, Nigeria is a big power. We have interest in Niger. In fact, Niger is central to Nigeria's foreign policy. On a good day, if leadership were motivating and inspiring, we are stakeholders in Niger. We should be interested in whether France or America, we are the biggest interest in Niger on a good day. But because over time we've had leadership, on a very good day, what should America and France be doing around our borders, controlling countries around us? We are the big brother around that area. But because of ineptitude of leadership, we have had different interpretations of what is going on. Africa is the centerpiece of Nigeria's foreign policy. If we had developed over time, by now we should be showing good examples to leaders in Niger. Within our border, France is so influential. Now we are having Russia there. It's not just about Niger. What you are going to see is this big power competition coming back to Africa. The Cold War experience. Somalia went to war. Angola went to war. UNITA. Jonas Savimbi. They almost tore Angola upside down. Mozambique. It was the same thing. America, Soviet Union. The fight in Ogaden region between Ethiopia and Somalia, it was America, Soviet Union. They instigated it. The war in the Congo. The war in Central African Republic. So at the end of the day, we are seeing Russia coming in again. Because these countries have abandoned France and they have run to Russia. And there's Russia-Ukraine war going on. And that war can also be interpreted Russia-America-Europe war. So they are bringing the war to Africa. Okay, perhaps they know what we don't know. ECOWAS defense chiefs, perhaps they know what we don't know because they have access to classified information that I don't know. If they have taken the decision to go to war, I wish them well. But I wish they would not go to war. But they know more than I know because they have access to certain information. But if I were the president, I will not go to war. Let's look at the front page of The Nation. 180 billion naira palliatives. Afenifere Ohaneze Pandef hail federal government as NEF kicks. Kwara announces non-partisan committee to handle distribution. Plateau to generate social register. You know, like they did to COVID-19 palliative. They will go and hide some of them in the warehouses again. I am sure. Because the same characters who did COVID-19 are still in charge. So nothing will change. They will hide some of the palliatives. It's inside us. It's ingrained. It's ingrained. We can't do anything well. Plateau to generate social register. It's now you want to generate the register. So by the time you are generating the register, what happens? You don't even have the register by now. We have done NIN. Over time, you have registered INEC, yet you don't still have a register. It's now you want to do it, and the millions are already in your account. So they will be waiting. Somebody will be pinching from it. You know, there's just this fire brigade approach. Do you know since when we've been registering for national ID card? I remember registering for national ID card in Benin. Buhari came again, we registered. You don't begin to ask, what is wrong with this country? You have BVN. Yet we don't have data. INEC will register on election day, the thing will crash. Okay. And remember, it's about the poorest of the poor. So if you are poor, it might not get to you. It's the poorest of the poor that it might get to. Remember, palliative does not solve the problem. So I will not clap for palliative. It's not sustainable. If you like, they distribute 20 billion. It's not sustainable. Because the kind of distribution channels they use, it gives room for somebody to pilfer money. And man is naturally selfish. You know, trader money, more than half of the money, we're taken away by politicians. So it's the same process. Because the institutions to regulate such, you don't have it. Before you know it now, you take cash. You want to go and distribute cash in some villages. Immediately you move in billions in cash to some village. You've just created room for corruption. You can't trace it anymore. Buhari launched, or Sanusi launched internet banking as CBN governor. Internet banking. Till now, we are struggling with internet banking. You can't transfer money with ease. You'll be struggling to transfer money. But you go to Kenya, you see M-Pesa, it never fails. It never fails. As you transfer it, it hits the account, boom. And you don't need to have a bank account. It's seamless. But yet we are claiming Big Brother. Now we want to go and fight in Niger. We can't do simple things. Lights you don't have. Roads you don't have. Your airport, Nigeria has one of the worst international airports, Lagos Airport. It's an eyesore. But you want to go and show bravado in Niger. You want to fight. At home you can't do anything. Your people are hungry. And you are forming Big Brother. Big Brother by for mouth. Giant of Africa. It's not even a sleeping giant. Nigeria is not a giant. The lines are open. Call the radio station. 080-999. Oh, sorry. 080-915. 51055. 080-915. 51055. The budget of Nigeria is not out of the budget of New York City. And you are calling yourself a giant. When we attain the giant status, France and America will not be dancing around our borders. When we attain that giant status, there will not be poverty in Borno. There will not be about 2 million displaced persons in Benue. You have internally displaced persons in Benue, up to 2 million persons. That's a disaster. You have more than 60,000 children who cannot find their parents in Borno, no guardians. They are on the street. And you want to go and fight in Niger. Go to Zamfara. Bandits are in the forest, hitting at Nigeria's military daily. Look at what happened in Niger State recently. And you are going to Niger. I don't support military government. I don't want military government. But I feel we can tackle what is going on in Niger diplomatically, so that we don't escalate the violence in the West African sub-region. The region is already too violent for my liking. And the military boys came in because of the violence of the jihadists, the militants within the Sahel. Was it not last week that they killed about 30 Nigerian soldiers? Bandits. They are in the deserts. Guns are everywhere in the West African sub-region. We should be very careful. And I want the Nigerian military to step aside. Let's experiment with democracy. But at some point, we need to modify our kind of democracy. It's not working. A democracy that will produce Akpabio as Senate president will not bring anything good. We need to modify our structures. That we throw up leadership that will work at the local government level. From market, you begin to notice development. The first time I went to Germany, where I noticed that Germany was a very big power, was the first mall I entered. From the mall, you would see a country that is ready for progress. It's a developed market. And you see the way trading is going, organized trading. One of the problems I have with my friend, Governor Seyi Makinde, is his inability to organize communities, markets, parks. Because those are the clear signs of development. And I tell my friends, we need to do it so that we can harness the energies of the people. When you have young boys on the street screaming, bere, 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 songo, songo, you are wasting the energy of those people, those young boys. We need to harness their energy. We need to take them out of that street. That is not where they ought to be, screaming bere in this age and time. You see some 70-year-old men driving Micra. You will know they have sight problems. We need to take them off the street. We need to modernize our transport system. The old rail line that is running through Dubai. And I hope my friend, Governor Makinde, will do something about that old rail line soon. We need internal rail system in Ibadan. Then the rural areas, we need to move in. There's a lot of resources in the rural areas. We need to move in. I know there are challenges, but I feel Makinde can do better. There are challenges, no doubt. There are political structural challenges militating against good governance in this country. But despite that, we can still break even. So I call on Seyi Makinde to step up his game. Let's organize markets. You go to public markets, you won't find good toilets to use. Those are the signs of underdevelopment. And sometimes when you find them to use, somebody has locked it up and gone away with the keys. Somebody is personalizing the toilet. Market, I'm interested in. Somebody was asking me, if you have the opportunity to govern, what would you want to be? I said, I want to be a local government chairman. But with the way the local government is structured now, I might not be able to function. Because we need to tackle those areas. That is how we will lift people out of poverty, not from the top. You are sharing palliative from the top. It won't get down. You share it from the bottom. You share it through communities. You have a lot of landlord associations. One sign of underdevelopment in Ibadan is that every street now has gates. It's not a sign of development. It's a people locking themselves in. They are afraid. It's a sign of fear. Every street now has gates. Even within that street that has gates, you now find another close that has gates. So you are now having different landlord associations policing their gates. You are shrinking the freedom of society. So if I have to drive, why did we create the roads in the first instance? If you are going to lock, and they lock the gates permanently. One sign of, look at that A small. There's a new A small at Oluyole Estate, very close to Mobi. From morning to night, there is a club on the top of that building, a lounge. They are playing music from morning to night, loud music, and you have government, and nobody's regulating it. So I must enjoy that music whether I like it or not. And they are playing it open roof. And you have Ministry of Environment, and you have directors in that ministry, and you're asking, why are they collecting salary? There are times I feel most people in the civil service should be fired. They're not really working. Nothing is going on. But if you fire them, where would they go to? They are not being empowered. Productivity is low. So government is paying salary to people who are not productive. If the government, Seyi Makinde will say he pays about 5 billion naira per month. 5 billion for what? What is the output? We don't measure those things. You paid them 5 billion. What have they done? Is it that the Ministry of Work have constructed roads? So what are you paying for? So you just pay to people who go to work, carry 5 from one table to the other and go home. That's not productivity. Not because they cannot be productive, but we run a government that will not allow people to be productive. Because at the end of the day, even the governor might have given their work out to a contractor. So why are you employing them? Why not just give them 2 billion naira loan? Let them go and establish something and be productive. 0805699 98678. Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
We are speaking with Chukwuemeka from Oyo.
Chukwuemeka from Oyo.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so this morning I'm so happy with the fact early hours of this morning when I got up, my prayer was God should make our leaders in Nigeria.
Hello, Chukwuemeka, can you hear me? All right. Let's try another line. Just keep trying, don't give up. 080915 51055 and 080569 98678. Hello. Okay. You have abundance of crude oil in the Niger Delta. None of your refineries are working. You have to turn down the volume of your radio.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
The new hour. Ejiruka.
Happy to hear your voice.
Thank you. In fact, the topic you brought out this morning, my God, I just couldn't resist the temptation. It wasn't yet time for me to break my sabbatical, you see, but the topic was too tantalizing for me to receive. The first hour, you see, Edmund, Nigeria is a thoroughly dysfunctional state. And we only have to go back to see how did Nigeria became dysfunctional and to be able to look at the possible solution. The dysfunctionality started with the 5 thugs who called themselves revolutionaries. And that is Uzogu and Sheajino. I insist and I insist the death of Ahmadu Bello is what myself and yourself are suffering for today. If Ahmadu Bello were alive, none of the terrible mess we have today in Nigeria will be existing. I told you that my initial idea of who Ahmadu Bello is an arrogant Fulani prince. But I have had to revise my opinion of the man when I read his writing and looked at his conduct, situating it in that very particular time in the history of this country. Uzogu needed not to have freed him. If you want to plan to go arrest him, put him under house arrest, or send him on exile. He was their hero. He was the only person whose eyes were open. He was the one who saw himself as the Messiah of the man. He doesn't have a hero complex. He has a Messiah complex. He knew he was created to deliver his people from darkness and bondage. And he was on that path, sure and steady. Now, by killing him, he gave the opportunity for morons and idiots to arise and claim the leadership of the north. And they will insist using the leadership of the north to control Nigeria. And that's one of the reasons why I'm this mess today. Now, if you come back to Awo's brilliant performance as a premier of Western region was made possible because of the system of that time. Azikiwe could not hinder Awo. Tafawa Balewa could not hinder Awo. That system was perfect for Awo to excel. It was also perfect for Zik and Opara to excel. It was perfect for Ahmadu Bello to excel. None of the other people could interfere with each other. When we destroyed that system, it gave back to military who don't know their left from their right. Beginning from Gawan, Look at the brilliant men who would have set Nigeria on the path to glory, who were killed in the July 29 counter coup. Brilliant people officers all over Nigeria who were massacred, struck down. Look at the civil war. So what is the solution now? To get good leaders, we have to restructure. Anybody who say want to be president of Nigeria is not talking about restructure. You are not talking to me. Except Nigeria is restructure, we will never get anywhere. We will never have that kind of outward leader. Somebody who has courage and charisma. Because not only courage, you need charisma. You need people who must be able to look at you in the face and believe in you and be able to follow you. There's not that kind of leader in Nigeria today. I would never imagine.
Hello, Barrister Ijeruka. Oh, sorry about that. That's network. All right, call. Let me hear you. I remember we are streaming online. Go on Edmondo Bilo's Facebook pages and join this class. It's about great leadership. Hello, good morning. Hello.
I'm Salam from Coca-Cola.
Abdul Salam from Coca-Cola. What happened to your voice?
I've been sick for some time now.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. You see, when APC was about to claim in 2015, and they came with their state manager, and as Buhari, as the presidential candidate, we thought, indeed, if these people should come, there will be change. After 16 years of PDP. But to my disappointment, nothing has changed. The only change we have experienced is changing from bad to worse. That's the situation of Nigeria. We thought Tinubu had something up his sleeves, but 2 years or 3 years into the saddle, I can see that he has nothing, there's no paradigm shift from the idea and the kind of leadership they are. Buhari shared 10,000 naira trader money without any activities or data to go about it. Now, Tinubu is coming up with 5 billion naira for each state without any data to work on. Remember, during the campaign, the build-up, he made a kind of tantrum to Obi, saying that statistics will go short. If you don't have accurate statistics, you can't do anything in any sector. You cannot fix anything in any sector as a government or as a private institution. So I'm expecting less from this government. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdul Salam from Coca-Cola. The lines are open. Let me hear from you. Good morning. Hello. Okay, let's look at this. Ogunkeye Abiola says it's very painful that our leaders are selfish and not visionary. If you see how Dubai is governing their people, you will know the importance of good governance. You know, Dubai will not stop amazing me. It's that bad that if I see any book, just write Dubai on it, I must buy it. I can't believe it. I have read their history. I said, God, if Dubai can do it, what is wrong with us? What is wrong? If Dubai can do it, why can't we? You see, in that Dubai International Airport, last year, I purposely took a flight that will at least give me about 9 hours transit moment in that airport so that I will have time to explore it. No. We are backward. Our leaders are backward. They are suffering from mental slavery. You know, they are selfish to madness. And you see them junketing around the world, enjoying themselves around the world. They see these things. Whenever I land in Lagos airport, there's this feeling I get. It's like I'm devastated. You see, I'll be excited. I want to come. But immediately I just land there, there's this thing that comes all over me. The airport will just break me down. I'll say, why? Come on, airport. Go and see at Ethiopia's airport. I say, come on, airport. Escalator will not work. The toilet is dirty. The workers are rude. They look unkept. They are all begging. It's like Nigeria is a begging country. The way we are begging for loan, everybody is begging. Police is begging. Immigration is begging. Custom is begging. So I always tell myself, don't lose your cool. So when I just meet them, immigration, he checks your passport. It's Oga. Oga, you dey go? No, I dey come. I dey come. What is going on? You go to the secretariat, you see all the offices are ugly, and you expect that kind of office to produce productive workers? Go to secretariats, you see offices where no, now, we can't continue like this. The civil service should be manned by brilliant people. Even some of the best should be in the civil service. And they should have quality offices. You go to UI, sometimes you see the offices of professors. There are books everywhere, yet we are poor. Let's go to the libraries, old books. Look at your state library in Dugbe. Hello, Mr. Governor. I don't know why you have not fixed that library. And you are reading book every day, Mr. Governor. You send me newsletters, you tell me the books you are reading. And I know you are reading books. But Mr. Governor, you've not made any attempt to fix that library in Dugbe. So you want to be reading alone. You don't want people to read? I should expect the governor to fix that library, put in latest books so that our young persons who cannot afford books go to the library and read. I was growing up in Benin City. We would go to Ewosa Grammar School. There was a public library. That was where I would sit down and read from morning to night. I would go home. Behold, that library is gone. There's a church there now. That library where we were reading in Benin is gone. There's a church there now. They brought down the building. There's a big church there. NTC, go into NTC in Ibadan. NTC, that used to be an industrial zone. And newspapers are giving governors the best governor of their ward. This was not what I planned to say this morning. I just derailed from my script. I'll be back after this break. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmond Obilo, on State Affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmond Obilo. Radio just got deeper. Ajayi Crowther University admission is in progress. Programs on offer include undergraduate, postgraduate, part-time, HND conversion, foundation and pre-degree programs in faculties of law, humanities, education, basic medical and natural sciences, social sciences and management sciences, engineering, environmental studies, communication and media studies and agriculture, nursing, environmental health science, entrepreneurship, radiography and radiation science, agricultural economics and extension, crop and animal science, peace studies and conflicts resolution, surveying and geoformatics, medical laboratory science, estate management, civil, mechanical, electrical, electronics and computer engineering, political science, music and performing arts. Our tuition is affordable and payable in 3 installments.
Visit acu.edu.ng for online application, screening and admission letter, giving our state-of-the-art facilities and distinguished lecturers. Apply now by logging on to acu.edu.ng or call 0814-592-0637.
Ajayi Crowther University, raising godly intellectuals.
Are you in need of a nice and comfortable, fully furnished hostel accommodation in the University of Ibadan? Or are you in search of a place for seminars and executive trainings? Look no further. Adebayo Akonde Hall is the go-to place for your lodging needs with a home away from home feel. Adebayo Akonde Hall is a 4-star hostel built in a serene environment with constant supply of electricity. It has fully furnished rooms that gives you great comfort at an affordable price. Adebayo Akonde Hall is located at Ajibode Extension, University of Ibadan. For inquiries and reservations, visit www.adebayohall.com or call 080-5699-8718 or 080-5699-8719 or 080-5699-8720. Adebayo Akonde Hall. Built for comfort. Built for you.
Iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná a máa fúnni ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ a sì máa mú ìdẹ̀rùn wá láti wá dènà ìjàmbá iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná. Ojúlówó wáyà tàbí kébù ló yẹ ká fi fa iná nínú ilé, lọ́fíìsì àti nínú ìlú. Purchem wires and cables ní àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ mọ̀nàmọ́ná àti àwọn agbaṣẹ́ṣe yàn láàyò. Ojúlówó ni, kì í bó lára, kò kì í jóná àbáàdì, kì í kán sínú, ó sì fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Ìdí nìyí tí Standard Organization of Nigeria fi fòǹtẹ̀tẹ̀ tí Nigeria Electrical Contractors náà fi dìbò fún. Bí copper cable ṣe wà ní aluminium cable ń bẹ nípele lówó tí kò gúnpá. Purchem wires and cables tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Kaman ló ṣe ojúlówó wires and cable jáde. Olú ilé-iṣẹ́ Purchem wires and cables limited wà ní Afrin's compound, Fort Gate, number 122/132 Oṣòdì Apapa Expressway, Ìyànà Ìsọlọ̀ bus stop, Lagos. Ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní 080-803-03257. Purchem wires and cables. Ìrọ̀rùn fi iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná.
Babies are God's gifts to parents, and breast milk is God's gift to babies. It contains all the important nutrients and minerals your baby needs, including water, for the first 6 months. Give your baby breast milk only. Remember, breast milk only for the first 6 months. This message is from the Anrin Project, Oyo State Ministry of Health.
Ṣé ìrìn àjò afẹ́lẹ́ fẹ́ rìn ní àbí tọrọ ajé lọ síbi yòówù káàkiri àgbáyé pẹ̀lú You Fit Fly? Ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé nípa ṣíṣe ètò ilé ìtura tó fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ àti bíbáni ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ọkọ̀ òfurufú lọ síbi kíbi tẹ́ bá ń lọ lágbàáyé. You Fit Fly ló ṣe é gbọ́kànlé. A ti ní ìrírí ọdúnmọ́dún nípa bíbáni ṣètò tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ìrìnnà àti ilé ìtura káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé tí àwọn arìnrìn-àjò sì ń ṣe sàdánkátà sí wa. Tí ẹ̀yin nìkan ni ìdílé yín tàbí ọ̀pọ̀ èèyàn, You Fit Fly ní ọ̀nà àbáyọ tí ìrìn-àjò yín yóò fi rọ̀ yín lọ́rùn. Ẹ pè wá sórí 0901 111 1190 0901 111 1190. Ẹ sì lè kàn sí wa lórí www.youfitfly.com tàbí lọ́fíìsì wa tó wà ní block 8 plot 15 lópòpónà 7up Olúyọ̀lé main estate Ring Road Ìbàdàn Ọ̀yọ́ state. You Fit Fly, ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ìrìnnà, gba ilé ìtura káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn.
It's a new dawn in the world of education as West Midlands Open University WMOU, a new online university, receives licensing approval to offer degree granting programs in Nigeria. WMOU is bringing university education close to you in faculties of business, social sciences, and various courses like accounting, business management, economics, and lots more to choose from. Our courses are flexible and you get to choose your learning environment, which allows professionals and anyone in the workforce to further their education with ease. Flexible payment options are available, but various other ways to make studying with us more affordable. Enroll at WMOU to get that degree today. For more inquiries and updates, follow us on any of our social media platforms at WMOU Nigeria on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On LinkedIn and YouTube, it's West Midlands Open University. Admission date for the September session will be announced soon, so get ready. WMOU, another first in the Ibadan's educational history.
Splash FM 105.5.
Quick, Charger 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
BBC News with Debbie Russ. The Western Canadian province of British Columbia has declared a state of emergency as the region deals with its worst wildfire season on record. There have been further evacuation orders as more than 1,000 fires burn across Canada. Officials have warned of an extremely challenging situation in the days ahead. The US state of California is preparing for its first tropical storm in more than 80 years. Hurricane Hillary is currently heading towards northwest Mexico and is later expected to hit the southwestern US. China has launched another major military exercise around Taiwan following stopovers in the US by the island's vice president. Beijing said the drill was aimed at discouraging Taiwanese independence. The United Nations is observing World Humanitarian Day today to honour those who've died working for the UN and other agencies. It was first introduced following the bombing of UN headquarters in Baghdad 20 years ago. An appeals court in California has revived lawsuits from two men who allege that the late pop star Michael Jackson sexually abused them when they were young boys. The men say the singer's companies had a legal duty to protect them. Elon Musk has announced that a blocking feature on X, formerly Twitter, could be removed. Social media users have expressed concern that it will make it hard for people to remove or prevent abusive posts. A killer whale kept in captivity for more than 50 years has died, just as plans were taking shape to return her to the waters where she was captured. Tokite had spent decades performing for visitors at the Miami Seaquarium. And the largest sporting event ever held in Hungary will begin today. The World Athletics Championships will open in Budapest, involving more than 2,000 athletes. BBC News.
The world in 2 minutes at 7:30 GMT.
Quick, Charger 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Splash FM 105.5.
Daganan kilo kilo bejanin kom lo moham. Lo. Di betamaso sanalom. Lo. Muasa benge kaputo.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo. State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
You see far into the future.
Oh yes, by the grace of God.
How come you have not helped to rescue Nigeria?
Well, you are going to a very delicate aspect of each country's existence. In overseas, especially Britain, where I studied the spiritual line, they have illuminated people who guide the country right from the inner planes. For example, in society which I belong to, the Society of the Inner Light, where I studied, they have what is known as the occult police, quite different from the physical police.
What does the occult police do?
Occult police go to the astral plane of their country to make sure evil forces don't have access into their physical plane.
So these occult police are protecting, these occult police?
They are protecting their country.
Protecting their country?
Yes.
Nigeria does not have an occult police.
You don't have.
What do we have?
You have physical police.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
That is Chief Mike Omole telling me about occult police. That was 2018. I remember that day I was so tired, asking what is wrong? What is going on? Are there other things we should do? Because I remember going to his house to meet him. Is there any other thing? He was talking about occult police. I don't understand it. I'm trying to. I also went there to ask him about his encounters with Adewole, because he was a journalist that also covered Adewole. I needed that first-hand information because I was so sure something is wrong with the present leaders. So somehow, I feel journalism or media can also help correct that. This is part of the conversation I had with him in 2018.
Since the creation of the world, both good and evil have been slugging it out to overcome each other. But by the grace of God, good always prevails.
I am thinking that you had no cause to be afraid that Adewole was going to be assassinated.
That was the message revealed to me. If a thing is revealed to you and you don't shout or call attention to it, then you'll be guilty of negligence.
The reason I'm taking that position is linked to the response of Oduduwa to God on the quest by Adewole to come to earth.
Yeah.
Oduduwa says, wherever he goes in life, there I shall be with him.
Yes.
He is going to assist me in my unfinished business.
Yes.
Whoever shall be his enemy shall be my enemy. The four corners of the world shall not produce any harmony in such enemies, and they shall always end up in ruins. He shall have a wife who will be like a mother to him.
Yes.
So from the response of Oduduwa, Adewole is safe. There's no cause for alarm. So why did Chief Omole raise an alarm?
What you must realize is that coming to the world, you are bound to encounter challenges. This is one of the reasons why people study spiritual line, to assist them to face challenges in the world. If you want to be a leader, you must prepare yourself for leadership. But that does not mean evil cannot overcome you. Doesn't mean evil cannot overcome you. Even among people who rose up through Adewole, he had enemies among them.
Some of them betrayed him.
Oh yes, like Judas betrayed Christ. So it doesn't mean the fact that you have cosmic backing does not mean you won't face challenges.
But from the cosmic realization,
yes,
it is clear that when you are sent on a mission, you are educated on the challenges you will meet.
Well,
I should presume. Chief Omole, you said in your revelation here that there are few avatars that come to earth to change the situation. And you said that the divine spark of Awolowo is not of the ordinary type.
Oh, yes.
He belongs to the spark called salt of the word.
Oh. Look, it's the same thing I'm telling you. You must face challenges. Look at Mahatma Gandhi. He too was an avatar. What happened to him after he had helped India? He was assassinated. There is no way you can live in the world without having the evil forces operating.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Now, let me tell you something. I have been studying Awolowo over time. As a young man, I was a follower of Awolowo all the way from Benin City. And one of the reasons I prayed to serve in Ibadan, that was what I told my heart, I want to serve in Ibadan, was because I was inspired by the politics of Awolowo. So I wanted to come to where Awolowo operated his politics from. A recent time, I went back into my archives. I started reading again all the speeches of Awolowo. You know, there are compilations. There's the voice of reason, there's the voice of wisdom, and there is the voice of courage. There are compilations of Awolowo's speeches. I'm recommending them to you. You need to read them. You know, I started this program by talking to young persons. Hello, daddy and mommy, go and get the collections for your children. If you read those speeches, you will now walk into the mind of Awolowo. They were not just speeches, they were actions. If you don't know how to get them, you can always contact me on 080 18449. Here are the collections: Voice of Wisdom, Voice of Reason, and Voice of Courage. They are compilations of Awolowo's speeches. Contact me if you want them. 080 18449. That's my number. And you can also find this compilation on udarabooks.com. udarabooks.com. UDARA. That's Udara. So you can go on udarabooks.com. You'll find these collections. And having gone through the speeches again, I decided to write a short letter. And the letter reads, it's a letter to somebody I respect a lot. And I've been studying his political thoughts. After every interview I have with him, I download it and study the political thoughts, pick out some of the ideas for the future. So I say, hello, sir. This is an invitation to discuss the political leadership and legacy of Obafemi Awolowo on my radio show, State Affairs. I plan to have this 1 hour, 10 minutes per edition discourse with you, spread over 3 or 4 editions of the program. I have designed this topic to serve as an example of great leadership that the young can learn from in preparation for the future. It is also part of my documentation of your political thoughts. I continue in the letter. As a renowned political analyst with a deep understanding of historical and contemporary political dynamics, I believe your insights and expertise would greatly enrich our listeners' understanding of Chief Obafemi Awolowo's contributions to Yoruba politics and Nigerian history as a whole. The first edition of the discourse is for the 19th of August 2023. I'm confident that your valuable perspectives will spark an engaging conversation that resonates with our audience. I'm looking forward to hosting you and benefiting from your knowledge on this important topic. Sir, thank you for considering this invitation. Best regards, Edmondo Bilo. I have a public intellectual with me this morning. Dr. Yemi Farumbi, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Thank you, Edmund.
When you read my letter, how did you feel?
I felt very happy that here is someone who is setting up an academy on radio. It has not always been this bad. It has always been good at times. And you now set up an academy to look at one who had done it well. When you look at someone who has done it well and you examine how he did it well, why he did it well, what did he do well, perhaps you'll be creating a new set of followers that will take up tomorrow. I was excited because I know a lot of people who claim to be followers of Awolowo do not know his thoughts. They've never studied it. They admire his round frame glasses and they wear it. They love his cap and they wear it. They call themselves Awois or they call themselves progressive. But really, they don't know him. So I was excited that, if Edmund is going to do a x-ray of this man, then it will perhaps be a turning point in this country. You just talked about these 3 books. Done by Olaya Pagbamigbe. Voice of Reason, Voice of Wisdom, Voice of Courage. But we heard an hour saying I was possessed by courage. And I did what I did. He didn't say I was possessed by reason. He didn't say I was possessed by wisdom. You started lamenting. You've been to the Secretariat. That Secretariat and that civil service was reputed to be the best under Simeon Adebo in the whole of Africa, led by Premier called Awolowo. So what happened? Well, it suddenly deteriorated. Why is it now that a secretariat that served all of us from here to Asaba, 8 states, is no longer big enough to serve Oyo State, and we are still building? Why? And you go, as you said, you still have unused spaces, abandoned spaces, dirty. And then you said something that is significant. Can you produce a good person from a pig state? There's something called ergonomics. The influence of the environment of an office on an office worker. People who have studied it know that, in fact, the quantity of light you have in an office can influence your performance. You get to offices without light, or with some dim yellow light. What are you going to get from them? So, knowing you for the kind of work you do, I felt very happy. And I just said, wow, it is something I wish had been done more than 10, 20 years ago. When people talk about Awolowo, so they can know him not as a politician, but as a leader.
In my chat with Mike Omoleye, he used the word that Awolowo was an avatar. An avatar is deep.
Yes.
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary.
Tell me more.
A deep thinker. A trailblazer. A change agent. In all aspects. When you were talking to him, you talked about Mahatma Gandhi. You talked about Awolowo. For you to understand Awolowo, you must understand his belief. Central to his operation is this concept of mental magnitude.
Mental magnitude.
Yeah. He believes, and I know he's right, not because he said it, because I've also looked at it, that man consists of three things. There is the physical, there is the psychic, and the psychic can be spiritual, but there's also the spiritual, or the mind. And that was why he went into what some people would call occult or occultism. But I've learned of them. You asked Omoleye a question. If he was sent by Oduduwa, why is he having problem? If Jesus was sent by God, why did he have problem? If Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him, was sent by Allah, why was he chased out of Mecca and he had to run to Medina, his mother's place? The fact that you are sent does not mean you will not have problem. But what is sure, and I believe you are sent from the day I saw you. So what you are doing, you may think you are doing a professional job, but it's because you have a mission. You are sent. But when you are sent, that doesn't mean you don't have problem, but it means that you have in you all that it takes to overcome the problem. It is there for you to enact that. But also sometimes you can get overwhelmed by that problem if you change your focus. If Oduduwa sent him, did he send him to Nigeria? Or did he send him to his own people? And when he decided to expand his focus, without having completed his original assignment, he ran into problems. It's a spiritual analysis.
Spiritual analysis.
Yeah.
At the formation of the Egbe Omo Oduduwa, something was going to happen in the western region. Can we look at the Egbe? What was the Egbe really about? Did he have a spiritual side?
You see, when they started, it wasn't something original to them. They were all students in UK. They've seen the BO student union. I think it was the first one, really. They've seen the Igbo union. And they thought they needed something to put all of them together. Because what the Yoruba used to have in UK is Egbe Omo Ekiti, Ondo, you know, the ethnic units within the Yoruba nation. Just as you have ethnic units within the Igbo nation. Because I know, for example, the Wawa Igbo, different from Anambra, is different from Igbo to Mboyi. So, but they didn't have Wawa Sude, Enugu State, or whatever. They had an Igbo union. So they thought that was a good thing. And that was the beauty of Nigeria at that time. There was this positive competitiveness that makes you copy what some other people doing and you think is well. That was what led to Egbe Omoduduwa. Now, they didn't call it Egbe Omo Yoruba because the word Yoruba itself is full of all kinds of debate. Where did it come from? Who originated it? Who are the people called Yorubas and so on? Because in the early days, it was only those now called Oyos that were Yorubas. So that was why in 1859, when they did that newspaper, they called it Ìwé Ìròyìn Ẹ̀gbá àti àwọn Yorùbá, which meant Ẹ̀gbá was not part of Yoruba. Just as Ìjẹ̀bú was not part of Yoruba. Ekiti, Akoko, Owo, Ondo, they were not. So it was easier and more comfortable to call it one central mythological figure that we all accept, Oduduwa. So they called it Egbe Omoduduwa. It was to do what Igbo State Union was doing, Biobio State Union. It didn't start with any spiritual.
So Awolowo started that movement as a political unifier.
Yes, to bring people who were disparate, who really didn't see themselves as one, but were one. But everybody went to his own enclave.
Before the formation of the Egbe Omoduduwa, they were all part of the Nigerian youth movement that was formerly Lagos Youth Movement.
Yeah.
Akintola was there.
Yes.
Azikiwe was there.
Yes. Anasikoli, Odemo Pishara, all of them like that. That was, you see, Lagos was the, how will I call it now? The farm where the seed of democracy, the seed for the struggle for freedom started. After the 1922 Constitution and the beginning of various newspapers in Lagos and in the South, they had a Lagos Youth Movement. They said, no, let us have it Nigeria Youth Movement. Those were occasions that they have inside that they can have a bigger and good Nigeria. Although it took a lot of debate among them too. Before we came to how we all believe Nigeria should be governed. Because the British was not governing us the way we wanted. They were governing us the way they wanted. But Awolowo was involved in that. Awolowo was also involved in produce buying. He set up a union, buying cocoa. He was one of those who founded the Nigeria Trade Union Congress.
Yeah.
So he has in him a belief that I'm in this world to change the world.
He struggled. He fell. He went bankrupt. He rose.
went bankrupt and they sold that house that is in Ikere. And he was there looking at them, selling it. He didn't cry, he wasn't rolling on the ground. He just believed that one day I'll buy my house back, which he did.
That's the power of belief.
That's the power of belief. When you have when you have faith in yourself and you believe in yourself, in the mission, in your vision must be converted to a mission. When you do that, your activities will be guided by that. And that is the spiritual side of it.
I was looking at some of the books he read because he told the story. He was an avid reader.
Absolutely, like you.
Searching for books.
Searching for knowledge.
For knowledge, constantly.
So that he can crystallize his own.
He started looking for books beyond the normal. He wanted to understand the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
Is that how they behave? Visionary leaders?
Visionary leaders. You're talking of vision. What is vision? It's not concrete. It's not something of today. It's something that goes beyond today. The biographer of Kennedy said, the leader is the man on the top of the mountain. Now, he has a vantage position. He can see further than anybody. He can see further than anybody. But if he has no understanding, he won't understand that what I'm looking at are future problems. How do I solve them today? Oh, these are future opportunities. How do I begin with them? So you cannot be visionary without having a spiritual depth.
I could see solitude in his explanation. A man who could take time out for critical thinking, deep reflections. I could see that in his explanation while reading his autobiography.
Yes. You need what I call a center of refuge. To some people, it's a library in their house. To some people, it's a temple. To some people, they go to a mountain. They want to be alone. They want to think. They want, it's like a computer now. You are gathering information from books, from what you are seeing, from what you have read, from what you are witnessing, and you are trying to synthesize them. You don't do that in a marketplace. So people like that always have their own center of refuge, where they're alone. They're able to think through. This is what our contemporary leaders cannot do. First of all, they don't have the information. They don't have the time. They don't have the willingness. But it's set up from the word go. I want to change this society. So he gets involved in things that will assist him to change the society. He got involved in journalism in that.
Yes.
Not only being a Daily Times correspondent, he started a newspaper for the labor union. So he just didn't stumble into whatever he was doing, or he did, when he became leader of government business or premier in Western Nigeria. It is what he has been thinking about.
There was something he said about journalism, why he left journalism, because he felt he wasn't inspired enough. He said perhaps it's for the flotsam and jetsam of society that it restricts vision.
Yeah.
But at the point I said, no, sir, I don't think so. Perhaps the journalism of your time.
As at that time, because he did for Daily Times, and Daily Times wanted to dominate. It was a subsidiary of British Daily Mirror, founded by Dr. Adewole. How do we get readership? It's not by doing in-depth stories. It's not by doing news behind the news. It's by reporting those people who are hogging the clear lights, what they are doing.
You didn't like that?
Of course. That cannot make a society grow. It's like we say in this our business. If you keep on giving people what they want, the society will not grow. Because the society wants issues of least resistance.
Easy talk.
Exactly, entertain. But when you want to give them what they need, that means you are already standing out of the society. What you did in the first 10 minutes today is what Nigeria needs that you are talking about. You talked about airport, made a comparison. Why will ordinary lift not work in an hospital and kill a very vibrant young doctor? Why? Little things like that. But you are not just saying, oh, it's been reported, the lift collapsed, the lady died. But you are now situating it in a bigger mess that we are in. That is a symptom. And Nigerians have always bothered about symptoms. But symptoms are symptoms. The foundational problems, we never talk about them. And at this time, they couldn't even talk about them because the British were there. So he thought that newspaper journalism didn't bother about death. Of course, if you remember the era of yellow journalism in America, he never talked about death.
Yeah.
But journalism has gone beyond that now.
He later established the Tribune.
The Tribune. To do his own understanding of journalism.
The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. We are discussing political visionary. So we are unpacking Obafemi Awolowo's leadership, and this is part one. This is like a background into the man. We'll begin to take the specifics. But now you need to know the man, where he's coming from. He practiced journalism. He was a trader. He later had to travel out of the country to go study law. You will know the man. And I will introduce you to many of his books, his works. He wrote books. So those books are books of political philosophy. He wrote books. He wrote books while he was practicing. And I was comparing one of his work with the work of Bola Ige. It's okay, I could see. It's okay. Where are these leaders? I have recommended this work to you, this volume. Voice of Reason, Voice of Courage, Voice of Wisdom. Awolowo's speeches, a compilation. You should have it in your house. It should be in public libraries, physical, electronic copies. We should be studying them. Yemi Farumbi is on State Affairs. Don't go away, we will be back.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
Are you looking for an A-level school that offers a wide range of educational services?
Ascending College is an award-winning A-level school at Liberty Road, Ibadan. With almost 2 decades of experience, we prepare students for Cambridge, A-level, JUPEB, SATs, TOEFL, IELTS, GRE, and many more. The program is for those awaiting NECO and WAEC results, those who did JAMB and they are waiting to write post-UTME, those who have their WAEC results, and those who want to study abroad and in Nigeria. A-level provides sound and broad academic foundation for students to secure direct entry admission into 200 level in any university and also to secure scholarship in Nigeria and abroad. Admission is in progress. Contact us today at 108-120 Liberty Road or call 0805-099-2081 or 0816-01-43460. You can also reach us on our website at www.ascendingcollege.org. Ascending College, solid foundation, sure future.
Ọ̀rẹ́, ojú ti rí tó pẹ̀lú wàhálà owó bí apèrèsọ́kọ̀ ṣe ń pariwo.
Ọ̀gbẹ́ni, wọlé pẹ̀lú change ẹ̀ o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn ìyálọ́jà náà máa pariwo.
Ẹ dákun, owó yín ti yarí ilé gbà.
Àwọn ará ilé ìtajà ńlá náà máa sọ fún ẹ.
Ọ̀gá, kò sí change, ẹ fi mú súwìtì.
Nígbà tó bá tún wá rí iṣu tàbí ẹja yíyan tó ti ń pòǹgbẹ rẹ̀ tipẹ́.
Óò, mi mú àpamọ́wọ́ mi dání ṣá.
Kò yẹ kí ilé ayé le tó bá wọn. Òun ló jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ṣe ń lo Momo láti fi sanwó fún gbogbo nǹkan. Pé *671# lórí fóònù rẹ tàbí kí o gba áàpù tuntun Momo sórí ẹ̀rọ ìbáraẹnisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ. Kí ìwọ náà lè gbé ìgbé ayé tó dùn pẹ̀lú wa. Momo, ó dára ju owó lọ.
Glory to God! Heart Enlargement Special is here. The Standing Church International invites you to a 2-day powerful encounter with God. Dates, Friday 25th and Saturday 26th August 2023. Time, 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily. Venue, the International Conference Center, University of Ibadan. Ministering, the visionary Manifold Grace Ministries. There will be miracles, healings, salvations, and deliverances. Come and receive a touch from God that will change your life forever. See you there.
Enlargement Special ti dé o. Ǹjẹ́ o fẹ́ ìwòsàn, ìgbàlà, ìtúsílẹ̀ àti ìyanu tí ó yí ayé rẹ padà? Ìjọ The Standing Church ń pe ìwọ àti ẹbí rẹ fún ìpàdé alágbára ọlọ́jọ́ méjì nì pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run ní gbọ̀ngàn International Conference Center ICC Fásitì Ìbàdàn ni ó ti wáyé ní ọjọ́ Friday 25th àti Saturday 26th ní oṣù tí a wà yìí. Agogo 8 àárọ̀ àti aago 4 ọ̀sán ni yóò máa wáyé. Máa bọ̀ fún ìyípadà ọ̀tun ayé rẹ.
It's a new dawn in the world of education as West Midlands Open University, WMOU, a new online university, receives licensing approval to offer degree granting programs in Nigeria. WMOU is bringing university education close to you in faculties of business, social sciences, and various courses like accounting, business management, economics, and lots more to choose from. Our courses are flexible and you get to choose your learning environment, which allows professionals and anyone in the workforce to further their education with ease. Flexible payment options are available, but various other ways to make studying with us more affordable. Enroll at WMOU to get that degree today. For more inquiries and updates, follow us on any of our social media platforms at WMOU Nigeria on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On LinkedIn and YouTube, it's West Midlands Open University. Admission date for the September session will be announced soon, so get ready. WMOU, another first in the Ibadan's educational history.
hallelujah ìjọ rccg jesus shield pé ọdún mẹ́tàlá pẹ̀lú ijó ayọ̀ àti ìdùnnú la fi ń pe gbogbo ènìyàn síbi àjọ̀dún ọdún mẹ́tàlá ìjọ wa tí yóò wáyé láti monday ọjọ́ 21 sí sunday ọjọ́ 17 oṣù kẹjọ ọdún yìí. Yes, with Jesus joy in our hearts, we invite you to the 13th anniversary of our church, Jesus Shield, House of David, Oyo Province 12, Apapa Family Zonal Headquarter, happening from Monday 21st to Sunday 27th August 2023, with the theme Coat of Many Colors. Àwọn olùṣọ́ àgùntàn tí Ọlọ́run yóò lò fún wa nínú àjọ̀dún yìí ni Pastor and Pastor Mrs. Wọlé Ọládòkun pẹ̀lú àwọn òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run mìíràn. Guest minister Pastor Charles Akko, Pastor Damilola Ilesami, Song Ministration Jesus Shield Minstrels. Ibi tí àjọyọ̀ yóò ti wáyé ní RCCG Jesus Shield, 7 Varsity Street, Barika, Ibadan. You can also join us live via www.rccgjesusshield.org. Come celebrate with us and enjoy the endless blessings of God.
Ọṣẹ kan ṣoṣo tó ń jẹ́ káṣọ máa dán kò kí n pẹ́ mi láti fọṣọ tán ọṣẹ gidi mi ò lè lóhun tí ò dáa Loviva kékeré fífa aṣọ púpọ̀ Loviva má sọ àkọ́kọ́ àtọwọ́ rẹ̀ nù Loviva.
Ọṣẹ àbùfọ̀ Viva Plus ọ̀gá ńlá ọṣẹ àbùfọ̀ látọwọ́ Aspira.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Welcome back. The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. I am Edmondo Bilo, and my guest is the renowned public intellectual, Dr. Yemi Farumbi. We are discussing the politics and legacy of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Now, you have to understand Nigeria. And that's why I've been recommending this book to you, Understanding Modern Nigeria, by Tony Falola. Understanding Modern Nigeria, Ethnicity, Democracy, and Development. Because by the time we come deeper into the person of Awolowo, ethnicity will come up. Ethnicity will come up. So if you're reading this book, Understanding Modern Nigeria, by renowned Yoruba scholar, Professor Tony Falola, you'll be having an understanding of where we are coming from. I've been recommending books to you. I keep getting messages, Edmond, can you give me the books you have recommended, the names? Okay, if you go on my pages, I have pasted about 25 books I've recommended in the last 3 weeks. And soon, I think I should be able to create something like a mini library where I can admit some young persons to come and read. It's not big enough, but at least I can start small. At least you can come in a cozy environment and you read. So some of these books, I will make them available for you to read. You know, and I'm interested more in young persons. That's not to say I'm not interested in daddies and mommies, but I'm interested in young persons because the future is key. So you can come in and read. And I can bring somebody like Yemi Farumbi to talk to you. You read for 3 hours and you have a class discourse of 1 hour. And you're speaking, you're exchanging ideas, you are building your mind. We can create it. Remember, it does not take multitude to change a country. It's few persons. And they will trigger it, everybody follows. You just need 1 or 2 visionary persons to come up, men of courage and wisdom, and they will be backed with reason. There is another book here. It is one book on Awo that I have not finished. I don't know why. And it's a small book. I think I will finish it tonight. And I've had it for more than 10 years. I keep reading it bits and bits. Akin Omoborio, you remember the name? He wrote a book, Awoism, Select Themes on the Complex Ideology of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Ideology. Read this book. Get it. And you know one thing book does? You know, when you read about 4 or 5 authors, it gives you different perspectives. So sometimes you say, oh, I don't disagree with it. Yes, you can disagree. Even you can disagree with Awolowo. In his books, there were parts I disagreed with. And he wrote for his time too and projected into the future. But you need to read all the ideas. And then you have a balanced mindset. It's about the mind. So I recommend this book, Awoism, Select Themes on the Complex Ideology of Chief Obafemi Awolowo. In the book, the author attempts to encapsulate for the reader the major elements of Chief Awolowo's ideas, for which he has coined the word Awoism. According to him, Awoism is a political doctrine, but above all, it is a total conception of life. I love that word. And I'm a student of political science. I am not seeing the study of Awoism in our universities. Dr. Farumbi, our syllabus tend to focus more on European philosophers. Why are we not redrawing these syllables?
Yes, you are right. In fact, there was an author, I can't remember him now, who said there's no philosophical thought that can come from African leaders. And there is this based somewhere in university in the US and took Awoism to explain that statement is untrue. It is true that a lot of our political people, they don't talk out of death. They talk out of campaign needs. But for somebody to sit down, as he did, talked about the concept of democratic socialism or social democracy and how to go about it without taking the path designed by Lenin and Stalin and co. How you can run a democratic socialism that is not anti-God, because he's a deeply spiritual person.
Yes.
So he was able to weave all of this together.
He was a philosopher.
Absolutely.
Of the highest order.
Of the highest order. And it's left for us, Nigerians, to really have made it one of the available topics, themes that we can teach. But you know that apart from a few, like Professor Makinde, Reverend Father Oguma Dede, I have been asking that somebody should go and sit down with Omaleye, for example. He had one of the closest interaction with Awolowo at the court level.
At your court level? I mean, yeah. I need to go back.
And ask him questions. He was the last person who ever did an interview with Chief Awolowo. Very last person, which he published in, I forgot his newspaper now, he published it there. We Awolowo talked about all that thing. He talked about you have to exercise. You have to do exorcism for Nigeria. Because there are about 2,000 to 3,000 Nigerians, and things like that. He talked about them. And you have to talk to him more, then you see why sometimes the weeping Jeremiah, as MPN once called Awolowo, make prophecies that are accurate. But not prophecies that just come out of, you close your eyes and say, prophecies that are predictive because they are rooted in science. You know. But because of the kind of country we have, it became difficult to study Awolowo because maybe seen political, maybe ethnic, or some people think it's occultic.
He was a member of the Rosicrucian Order.
Me?
Awolowo.
He was. But you need to read about the Rosicrucian Order too, or even the Lodge movement. And using that, and you read about Christianity, you find that they have a commonality. They share views.
I was trying to read some of the books. I got to a point, I dropped them.
Yes, sometimes if it's not what you want to study.
Because they were taking me too far. I didn't want to go too far.
Yeah, if it's not what you want to study, you drop them. But I've never seen him as an occultist. Because if you believe in Jesus Christ, and you want to understand him, who Jesus Christ is, you have to read more than the Bible.
He was a Christian too.
Yeah.
His name is Jeremiah.
So, if you want to know about Jesus, you have to read the Quran.
You were talking about the prediction of the future. Awolowo and 30 of his political associates were accused by the federal government of plotting a coup to overthrow the Balewa government. They were charged to court for treasonable felony, conspiracy to commit a felony, and conspiracy to effect an unlawful purpose. Chief Obafemi Awolowo was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment with hard labor on the 11th of September, 1963. Before sentencing him, Justice Judge Shudende Shuwemimo of the Lagos High Court listened as Awolowo made a statement in court. Now let's look at the statement Awolowo made. He starts saying, since 1957, I have fought, as your lordship remarked, with vigor against the feudal system in the northern region and for its eradication. I have also fought to prevent the spread of this evil political system to other parts of Nigeria. Awolowo continues. During the same period, I have strongly advocated the breaking up of northern region into more states in order to have true federation in Nigeria, to preclude the permanent subservience of the people of Nigeria to the autocratic ruling caste in the north, and to preserve peace and unity in the country. Awolowo is not done. He says, in short, I have always fought for what I believe, without relenting and regardless of consequences to myself. I have no doubt, and I say this without any spirit of immodesty, that in the course of my political career, I have rendered services to this country which historians and the coming generations will certainly regard as imperishable. Is that not what we are doing now?
Absolutely.
Awo is not done. He's still in court before the judge. He looks the judge in the eye. He says, I personally welcome my sentence. I personally welcome any sentence you may impose upon me. At this moment, my only concern is not for myself, but that my imprisonment might do harm to Nigeria. He was right?
Absolutely.
He concludes, for some time to come, the present twilight of democracy, individual freedom, and the rule of law will change or might change into utter darkness.
And that gave us 28 years of military rule.
A civil war.
And a civil war that perhaps could have been avoided.
He gave us the January coup and the July counter coup. So he saw the future.
Not just seeing it, was rooted on facts. Because what we do now is a knee-jerk reaction. I said this will happen. No. For you to be predictive, then you have to have facts. You have to have knowledge. Then you have to be able to mix this with your inner self, which is the psychic self. Then you make predictions.
Let's get some reaction from the listener. 080-915-510-55. 080-569-98678. Those are the studio numbers. So call the radio station. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Well done. In fact, I really love this morning's discourse. And even for inviting our regard Papa to the station. So we really appreciate you. I want to say, in contribution to the earlier talk, that we have a problem on our hands. That regime, that time of Awolowo was terminated, was caused into, the military that came in. It started even the whole process. It caused all these problems that we have a discourse generation. And we need a lot of patience. I was listening to the interview on channel this week. They interviewed Papa Bolaji Akinwumi. And
there. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, we have another caller here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is James. I'm calling from Ologuero.
The ball is in your court.
Yeah, thank you. I think I woke up around 3 a.m. this morning to go over the book, The Traverse of Democracy and the Rule of Law by Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And I was listening to the interaction, the engagement between him and Tafawa Balewa in the House of Representatives, and what led to the order of restriction in the Western region, and why he wanted North Akintola to take over his position because he lacked capacity. And I can mind a lot of other factors why he would want somebody else to take over that position. And the entire scenario that happened, even when the policeman came to give him the order from Magia Kodumi, the administrator of the Western region, after the restriction and the regulations were made by the Prime Minister. What I discovered is that, there was a statement that Tafawa Balewa, and he said that we have to obey the court. We could easily go against it, but we just needed to obey the court. So impunity at that level, from that stage of Nigerian democracy, has been happening. And that is what we see today. That even at that level, even Tafawa Balewa, the Prime Minister, could say that we could easily discountenance the court. And that is exactly the replica of what we're seeing today. That people just obey the court just because, not because the court is binding or the rules of the court is binding, but because they wanted to just obey it because out of perhaps courtesy not out of respect for the court. So I think Nigerian democracy will have to grow. I'm not a fan of democracy in any way, especially this kind of democracy we practice. I'm not a fan. But I just hope that one day we will define our own type of democracy. We structure it to what our own culture and tradition, as I would always say. And the idea of that social, democratic socialism, and as I would also emphasize in that book, it's not its own language. It was even Akinola who brought up that concept of democratic socialism. And I think, like I said, one day Nigeria will wake up to its own ideal of democracy that is not towards all of the Western ideology. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed your contribution. Sweet. I have recommended that book in the last 3 weeks. It's part of the list you will find on my page. The Travails of Democracy. And you can always get me. And I want to give out some copies soon of that book. So if you want to get a copy, you don't know how to, I'm not talking about the one to give out. When I'm ready to give out, I will come here and give them out. So you can always reach me on 080-309-18449. The Travails of Democracy and the Rule of Law. And there is another book here, Awo, The Last Conversation. Awo, The Last Conversation. You see it here by Moses Akim Makinde. An interesting book, Awo, The Last Conversation. You know, a lot of work have been written on Awolowo.
That is true.
But how come, despite many works on him, we are not producing leaders like him?
Because it's difficult to be like him. He says, for you to be a good leader, you must conquer your flesh.
What does that mean?
If you conquer your flesh, you'll not be greedy, you'll not be looking for money, you'll not be looking for entertainment, you won't be looking for easy women. You don't spend all your time carrying various colors and shades of women all about. You'll not be looking for things that will give you comfort for your children. You have to conquer your flesh. You have to conquer your own inordinate ambition. You ought to be able to make sacrifices. You have to be able to conquer what you eat, regulate what you eat, how you live. You don't find Awolowo just eating at any time. He has specific time, and he has specific hour. It was for him that I learned that you have to chew every muscle. So if you're going to have dinner with him, you know it's going to take you about 2 or 3 hours. The first time I had dinner with him, 30 minutes, I finished my food. I found that he was still chewing. He has to chew everyone. He will tell you that when you put it in a digestive process bacterially, it has to take in your mouth. But when you rush the food, it doesn't happen. And it will trace how it goes through into smaller intestine, larger intestine, the kind of processing, the kind of digestion that must take place. So he has learned them, and he lived his life along that line. He knows that if you want to have a first course, you go to a restaurant, they're going to give you a first course of soup. Awolowo is going to have a first course of ewedu, which is iron. So he knew he disciplined his eating, he disciplined his life. He's the only one man who sits as chairman of a meeting and will never get out. And we will be going out and coming in. But he will sit all through. But you find there are people who are joined executive meetings, council meetings, because they want to meet a girlfriend. He won't do that. So you have to be able to conquer the inordinate ambition that your flesh wants. The kind of dress, the kind of house, and so on. You saw it there. His house in Okebola, that's what he was living before he became leader of government basin, and that's what he lived all through. The house in Ikeria did not change until now when the children, I think Tokubo had to put another building to accommodate her. He didn't build a house on the hill, on hilltop. He rode his own personal car all through, either as Premier or as Federal Commissioner of Finance, WR1. You know, that all true. He kept the same driver all through. He educated the children of the driver. That's all. So you have to be able to do that. It's a difficult thing. Not to want to enjoy the perquisites of the office. Never lived in a government quarter, in a governor's office or a government house. He used to tell us, when you are in office, don't enjoy what you cannot enjoy ordinarily when you are out of office. You get an office, you see that including your kitchen, should be air conditioned. Your own private house, can you do that? So you have to conquer yourself. It's a difficult thing to want to do, and that's why a lot of leaders won't follow it.
As we round off part one of the discourse on Awolowo, let's listen to Professor Akin Maboguje,
one of his
intellectual backbones.
They were his teachers. Maboguje, Aboyade. I remember that Aboyade taught Awolowo econometrics.
And he would listen.
He would sit like a pupil and listen and ask questions.
I was reading Maboguje's book and his description of his sin. You see, there's a book you should read, A Measure of Grace by Akin Maboguje. Read autobiographies. If you want that book, it's scarce, contact me. I will get it for you. A Measure of Grace by Akin Maboguje. After reading the book, I said no. I visited Akin Maboguje and we had this discussion.
The urban is essentially a Western Nigeria phenomenon. The Yorubas in the past lived in towns, but really since then it's been the rural, and they haven't had as much advantage of development as the urban area. Everybody knows an urban area must have roads, must have electricity, must have a number of things. But the rural area, for them to develop, actually also need those things. But as I said, because of how scattered they are, in different sizes, it was not always easy. And yet, if you don't develop them, they are the backbone of any country. I mean, if you want to industrialize, the raw material must come from the rural area. You must do something about making them feel part of development.
And if the rural area is not developed, the country remains in squalor?
Well, this country really would have problems developing.
So it was important for Awolowo to have a policy on rural development.
That's correct, too.
And he termed it optimum community.
Okay, what happened was in the process, we had to write a paper for him and was talking about how to organize the rural area for effective production. And you discover that, in fact, if you move into the rural area, they are in groups, but nobody had attempted to use that grouping as the focus of development. Because the rural markets, you know, they're not just all over the place without some rationality. There is a rationality to the way rural markets are developed. So what we then did was to say, let's organize the rural area into what was called an optimum community, which he then says it's an optimum strategy. And so it was from Awolowo that the concept of opticum as a strategy of development came up.
And that was foresight, right?
It was. You know, and many people still don't appreciate the fact that the rural area, in fact, to be able to service the urban area, because that's really what they do. If you're going to industrialize, your raw material must come from somewhere. Okay, if you don't pay attention to where that raw material will come from, after some time, you will have problems. If you don't put roads there, if you don't put improved facilities for the people to get to them.
So that's the problem we are witnessing today.
That is true too, yes, that we have neglected the basic infrastructure.
Is it not painful that in 1978, a leader thought it wise to come out with a policy that would develop the rural area more than 40 years after?
And we're still not there.
Is it not painful, sir?
It is. Well, you starting to talk about what makes a leader, because that's really what Nigeria hasn't had, a real leader who can see the totality of our problems, not just from the minuscule of our own area, but from the totality of the area he's meant to lead. And leadership is still the real thing that is very, it hasn't been real developed in Nigeria.
Awolowo did not win the election of 1979.
Yes.
And there was a plan already on the table.
Yeah.
That was what you took to our community.
Well, the truth was, Awolowo was used to fighting an election on the basis of what we call policy papers. Even the first action group government of Western Nigeria started with a whole series of what would we do if we won the election in forestry, in agriculture, in health, in what would we do?
And they were policy papers.
And they were policy papers. So when, for instance, he then won, and a person like Akinloye, you know Chief Adisa Akinloye, was in another party but joined the action group, and they were going to offer him the position of a Minister of Agriculture of Western Nigeria. He had to study that policy paper and make sure that what was in it becomes what he carried out. Okay, so when Awolowo was now thinking of going to the federal, he had to put together a number of us to provide for him policy papers, which, if he had won, would have become the basis of what government does in the rural area, in the urban area, and so on.
That means a leader must also learn to identify talents like Mabo Guje, who could design policy papers.
Well, that's true. That's why you don't have to know him, but by the time you've consulted, you would find people from different parts of the country who can come together and give you a policy paper.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
As we round off part one of this discourse, what do you have to say about that chart? It's the late Akin Mabo Guje.
Absolutely true. Opticom, the concept of rural integrated development was from the brain of Mabo Guje and Aboyade. It illustrates one thing. The leader must have a vision. The leader also must not be anti-intellectual. He must be able to pool resources. That was the Ife group. Magumde and Aboyade belonged to the Bada group. They were all academics, professionals, giving input into what he was going to do. He was not a man just guided by courage. He was guided by reason and wisdom. And wisdom says, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail.
Read Mabo Guje's autobiography, A Measure of Grace. You can always contact me on 080 309 18449. 080 18449. You can get it on udarabooks.com. UDARA, Udara, udarabooks.com. Dr. Farumbi, as you go, I will leave you with this. I brought these 3 collections, this volume of Awolowo's speeches for you. Thank you for always being there.
I will take them.
I know you have them, but this is my gift for you.
Yes, because I always appreciate your books.
Thank you.
I have a separate color for your books now.
Thank you.
And that's why I believe you may not know it. You are an avatar yet exposed. But I know sooner than later you'll be exposed.
Thank you.
And the kind of movement you want to create will happen.
Thank you. The program is State Affairs. Next week, we'll continue the discourse on Awolowo. We are not done. Next week, we'll begin to look at Awolowo as Premier of the Western region. I'm Edmondo Bilo. After this break, I will be discussing Grandma's plight. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
Glory to God! Heart Enlargement Special is here. The Standing Church International invites you to a 2-day powerful encounter with God. Dates: Friday 25th and Saturday 26th August 2023. Time: 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily. Venue: the International Conference Center, University of Ibadan. Ministering: the visionary Manifold Grace Ministries. There will be miracles, healings, salvations, and deliverances. Come and receive a touch from God that will change your life forever. See you there.
Enlargement Special ti dé o. Ǹjẹ́ o fẹ́ ìwòsàn, ìgbàlà, ìtúsílẹ̀ àti ìyanu tí ó yí ayé rẹ padà? Ìjọ The Standing Church ń pe ìwọ àti ẹbí rẹ fún ìpàdé alágbára ọlọ́jọ́ méjì nì pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run ní gbọ̀ngàn International Conference Center ICC Fásitì Ìbàdàn ni ó ti wáyé ní ọjọ́ Friday 25th àti Saturday 26th ní oṣù tí a wà yìí. Agogo 8 àárọ̀ àti aago 4 ọ̀sán ni yóò máa wáyé. Máa bọ̀ fún ìyípadà ọ̀tun ayé rẹ.
My dear.
Yes, dear.
Mo máa kọjá lágbègbè wọ̀ fún bí mo ṣe ń bọ̀ báyìí. Mo bá rí ọgbà estate ńlá kan tí wọ́n tún ṣe tí gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe rẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀. Ló bá kọ Rayfield Garden City Estate síwájú ẹ̀. Dear, àkókò nìyí fáwa náà láti donílé lórí.
Ṣé kìí ṣe èyí tó wà ní Christopher Adébáyọ̀ Àlàó Akálà ní GRA Àkóbọ̀ extension?
Òun náà ni.
My dear, ibẹ̀ yẹn rẹwà pọ̀ kódà ó wọ èmi gan lójú.
Ìrètí dé pẹ̀lú Pendini Homes. Kọ́ńtàlẹ́tù ní pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn. Iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ní.
Pendini Homes ti gbé ojúlówó ilé tó tayọ bẹ́ẹ̀ láwùjọ wa fún kó wa. Àwọn ilé àwòdàmì ẹnu bíi tòkè òkun tó bá gbà mú. Tó níye ju yàrá tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ pẹ̀lú iná tí kìí ṣẹ́jú. Ààyè tún wà fáwọn olùdókòwò àtẹ̀yìn asọ̀gbẹ́dìgbòrò investors and sub-developers. O lè ra ilé tàbí gbé dúkìá kalẹ̀ sínú Rayfield Garden City Estate tó wà ní Christopher Adébáyọ̀ Àlàó Akálà GRA wọ̀ fún Àkóbọ̀ extension ní Ìwó Road Ìbàdàn. Ẹ kàn sí www.fendinihomes.com tàbí 09029413968 08073454767. Kàn sí Pendini Homes fún ìgbé ayé tó dára.
Ṣé ìrìn àjò afẹ́lẹ́ fẹ́ rìn ní àbí tọrọ ajé lọ síbi yòówù káàkiri àgbáyé pẹ̀lú You Fit Fly? Ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé nípa ṣíṣe ètò ilé ìtura tó fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ àti bíbáni ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ọkọ̀ òfurufú lọ síbikíbi tẹ́ bá ń lọ lágbàáyé. You Fit Fly ló ṣe é gbọ́kànlé. A ti ní ìrírí ọdúnmọ́dún nípa bíbáni ṣètò tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ìrìnnà àti ilé ìtura káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé tí àwọn arìnrìn-àjò sì ń ṣe sàdánkátà sí wa. Tí ẹ̀yin nìkan ni ìdílé yín tàbí ọ̀pọ̀ èèyàn, You Fit Fly ní ọ̀nà àbáyọ tí ìrìn àjò yín yóò fi rọ̀ yín lọ́rùn. Ẹ pè wá sórí 0901 111 1190 0901 111 1190. Ẹ sì lè kàn sí wa lórí www.youfitfly.com tàbí lọ́fíìsì wa tó wà ní block 8 plot 15 lópòpónà 7up Olúyọ̀lé main estate Ring Road Ìbàdàn Ọ̀yọ́ state. You Fit Fly ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ìrìnnà gba ilé ìtura káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn.
Ọmọ mi ti pọ̀ṣù mẹ́fà ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́. Oṣù mẹ́fà ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́.
Ó ti yẹ kóṣù mẹ́fà nìyẹn. Ọmọ ó máa ń pẹ́ dàgbà o. Báyìí o, ọmọ rẹ ti wá nílò ju omi ọyàn nìkan lọ o. Àkókò ti tó láti máa fún un ní oúnjẹ fífọ́ ní àfikún sí ọyàn. Rí i dájú pé àwọn oúnjẹ ọmọ rẹ ní ó kéré tán ọ̀kan lára àwọn oúnjẹ àfọ́pọ̀ márùn-ún wọ̀nyí. Ẹyin, ẹja tàbí ẹran, èso àti ewébẹ̀, epo tàbí òróró, ẹ̀wà, ẹ̀pà tàbí sóyà, ìrẹsì, ọ̀dùnkún, àgbàdo tàbí iṣu. Ọmọ rẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti oṣù 6 nílò omi ọyàn. Àtàwọn oúnjẹ wọ̀nyí fún ìdàgbàsókè àti ìlera. Máa fún wọn lọ́yàn títí yóò fi pé ọmọ ọdún 2 àti jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ìkéde yìí wá láti àkọ́ṣeṣẹ́ ARIN, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
It's Boa Cement PLC Win with the King promo. Hooray! From August 10 to 31st October 2023, buy and keep buying Boa Cement to stand the chance to win one of the 4 MG5 executive saloon cars. The grand prize through a raffle draw. That's not all. 16 millionaires dream will become reality. 16 people will win 1 million naira each as consolation prizes in the Boa Cement with the King promo. Tricycle, Boa branded t-shirt, television set, generators, Android phone, and rechargeable lamps are available for grabs. Cement worry is gone. Lot of free Boa Cement bag also on offer to support your construction project. It's the season of surplus free airtime for calls and data. Buy Boa Cement. Price the card inside and refill your price. Call the number on the scratch card. Call 0916-9981-648 or 0916-8948-542. Terms and conditions apply. Boa Cement, King of Strength.
It's a new dawn in the world of education as West Midlands Open University WMOU, a new online university, receives licensing approval to offer degree granting programs in Nigeria. WMOU is bringing university education close to you in faculties of business, social sciences, and various courses like accounting, business management, economics, and lots more to choose from. Our courses are flexible and you get to choose your learning environment, which allows professionals and anyone in the workforce to further their education with ease. Flexible payment options are available, with various other ways to make studying with us more affordable. Enroll at WMOU to get that degree today. For more inquiries and updates, follow us on any of our social media platforms at WMOU Nigeria on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On LinkedIn and YouTube, it's West Midlands Open University. Admission date for the September session will be announced soon, so get ready. WMOU, another first in the Ibadan's educational history.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Plenty, anger is the food of many. For how long the people are wondering how much more the suffering and smiling. They ask, where is the love? Few have taken everything, and many people have nothing. So change for a better Nigeria. Change your way, our leaders. This is all we've got, our country, Nigeria. Change for a better tomorrow. Say there'll be no more sorrow. Change for all our tomorrow. Never change begin with you and with me. Look in the mirror, tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. If we must make the change that we seek, you must show the way. Make that change and make be no more sorrow. Change, fall out tomorrow. And make it today. Change. This is all we've got. Our country, Nigeria. So change and say there'll be no more sorrow. Change for all our tomorrow. Better make that change. For you and me, make that change. In Nigeria, it's all we got. It's all we got. Make that change today. Make it now. Change Nigeria. For you and me, for our children, for the future. Change in the north, change our leaders, change our people. In the east and west, make that change for the best, Nigeria.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmond Obilo, on State Affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmond Obilo. Radio just got deeper. State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live.
Welcome back. The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Let me also call on you to love your country with all your heart and to work towards building your country. It's not just the responsibility of the leaders. As citizens of Nigeria, we all have a role to play in building a great country. In fact, it starts with you. It starts with me. Together we can join hands to build a great country where our people will be lifted out of poverty, where there will be good schools for our children, and that is good education, where education will be accessible. Every child deserves education. And that was what Ni Oshudari was talking about last week. Next week, I'll pay attention again to Ni Oshudari, where he talks about education, the power of education, how education makes a land great. It's education that develops the mind. That we are having poor leadership is also a product of poor educational system that have not been able to indoctrinate the mind of the people. So you now produce a people who destroy themselves. We are destroying ourselves, whether leaders or followers. That's the system we are having. You now produce a church producing Christians that destroyed society. Mosque producing Muslims that destroy society. We have a system producing policemen that destroy societies. Journalists that destroy societies. Doctors not dedicated to duty. So it's our responsibility to reverse that trend. And we can. In reversing the trend, you have to understand where you are coming from. And that is why I say one of the best books ever written in recent time is this one entitled Ironsi, Nigeria, the Army, Power and Politics. Obafemi Awolowo was also mentioned here. You know, the politics of the system was mentioned. The Civil War was mentioned. I've recommended this book again and again. Ironsi, Nigeria, the Army, Power and Politics. Yes, before I went on leave, I discussed Grandma's plight. Remember Grandma's story? Grandma's house by the river. Grandma complained about Oluyole local government taking part of her land for the river to expand the channel. And the local government chairman, Seto Pupola, came in to intervene. We went to Grandma's house together. And that was my last visit to Grandma. So Grandma is with me in the studio. Grandma, Omotayo Adijoro, it's good to have you on radio again.
Welcome back, Mr. Edmond Bilo.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you too?
I'm doing well.
And the crew?
The crew is fine. Remember the last time we came to your house?
Yes, I do.
I was happy to see you that day.
I do.
You took me into your bedroom.
Yes.
That was a privilege. Thank you. You know, and this is where we are. The chairman of Oluyole local government is also part of the discourse. So it's about Grandma's plight. Let me also welcome the chairman of Oluyole local government area, Seto Upola. Good to have you on State Affairs.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, I was talking to Grandma the last time we visited Grandma. We were in Grandma's house. Grandma, were you happy to receive us that day?
I was.
Why were you happy?
At least you did a lot to settle what has been worrying my mind since 2018. And for seeing you and the chairman and both of you made promise that everything will be well. Though I'm feeling the pinch on my body because of the diversion of the river at the back of my living room. Very, very cold for me. There's nothing I can do. I don't open the windows. I don't open the louvers.
Yes.
I said, I know that all will soon be well with me.
Yes, you will be warm. You know, Mama will be warm. Grandma, you'll be warm.
Amen.
Mr. Chairman, yes, Mama wants to be warm. So what have you done so far?
Let me first of all appreciate Mr. Hedmond. I must be sincere with you. Your intervention has brought what I could see as succor. This is an inherited mess because it happens to Mama probably 2018, as she rightly said, while I came on board barely late 2019. But government, they say, is continuum. So in the spirit of that, we do not have any reason to apportion blame or see who created that problem that we inherited. Be that as it may, you have opened a new chapter for Mama with your intervention. We have gotten half a plot of land for Mama, as I used to say. 1,500 blocks is on the land as I speak to you. 20 tons of granite and 60 tons of sharp sand. So with that, I believe we are good to go. Mama deserves to be relocated. And I'm assuring everyone hearing me this beautiful morning that Mr. Edmund has set a path that is worthy for an emerging leader to emulate. So thank you so much, sir.
So Mama is going to have a new house?
Definitely. It's a done deal already.
And in building this new house, we are not leaving it to the local government alone. The local government have launched it. Seto Pupuola, chairman of Oluyole local government, and his team have allocated land. And in this partnership, the Splash FM, Oluyole local government, and Grandma's partnership, and the citizen partnership, let's use this as what we call solution-driven journalism. That we can all come together to solve the problem of a citizen, not just government alone. Now, what we have done is to open a GoFundMe account entitled Splash FM Welfare Unit. That's the account name. We want to build a house for Grandma. I'm going to contribute. Mr. Chairman, when do you think this house will be ready?
By the special grace of Almighty God, I believe this platform will open an opportunity for well-meaning Nigerians to contribute their own quota. As Rolali said, governance have to be participatory. Participatory in the sense that government has a role to play, while average citizens also have a role to play. By the time we're able to come together, fools our strength together, something better will come out of that marriage. And that is what is happening now. By the special grace of God, I believe with the little resources available, we are good to go. By December, Mama should be able to wake up and look up to 3-bedroom flat apartment in a West Serene environment and give all glory and adoration to Almighty God.
Now, Mama has not gone to that site. Mama, so we are taking you to the site next week.
Okay.
Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Yes, because I'm ready to go. Let's go and inspect the site so that you see where you will be relocated to, where your new house will stand. You know, it's not your face I'm looking at, it's your grandchildren. You live with your grandchildren in that house.
I do.
I don't want them to live there again. And the chairman has said that. Those children cannot continue to live very close to that canal. That's not where they will grow. We are going to change their face. And you are going to give them that lift. So next week we are going to the site. So I'm calling on you, the listener, the man and the woman following grandma's story. You see, 10 naira is not too small. You can donate 100 naira. And I will create that list. I don't know what I'm going to call that list. But donate, it can be private. No one is going to publish your name. Donate to this cause. Let's see what citizen power can do. I'm going to put the account number on my pages. You will also find the account number on Splash FM pages soon. And Mr. Chairman can display it if he wants. But I can call the account number now if you have a pen. Donate to the building of a house for grandma. It is Union Bank. Account number 02 06 27 50 94. That's the account number. The account name is Splash FM Welfare Unit. It's a special account to solve the housing issue of grandma. The bank is Union Bank. Account number again, 02 06 27 5094. So join me, join Seto Pupola, join Splash FM to settle the plight of grandma. You know, Mr. Chairman, at the point I said settle has settled it. You have settled it, thank you. I must appreciate the exemplary leadership you gave. You know, I was impressed. I told you, for a very long time, I gave up hope on local government administration. But meeting you just sparked that imagination. I said, local government can be powerful. And I could see the way you were penetrating the system. Thank you. Thank you for this intervention. Grandma, you have anything to say?
Well, if I may ask that the chairman regularize the documents, the building and the survey plan and the building plan on my name, because that is the certificate I'm holding, as I do with the house that I'm living right away. I did all my papers in 2001, and I did not start building it from foundation until 2003.
So let Mr. Chairman answer your question.
Mommy, you can be rest assured. Allocation paper is available in your name already, while every other necessary document will also, local government will also foot that bill. You can be rest assured. We'll hand over a paper, a necessary document to you. That land is yours for now and forever. That has been done. The allocation paper has been done in your name. What is needed to be done is to hand it over to you formally in the presence of Mr. Edmond, while other documents also follow suit.
Okay.
Let's hear from the listener. Let's hear from you. 080-915 51055. 080-569 98678. And you can call 070-694-93000. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Edmond.
Yes, good morning.
Abdulaziz Mayowa.
Abdulaziz Mayowa, good to hear your voice.
Well done, Edmond. Almighty God bless you. Thank you. Oh, my tẹ̀síwájú lágbára Ọlọ́run. Dáadáa rẹ̀ ó máa pọ̀ sí. You have used the capacity of your great office as the local government chairman to settle grandma's issues. We have been following this issue from the onset. thank God, Almighty God, has used you to settle it. Okay, Grandma, a love for Kambale. All is well. Edmond.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. On behalf of all Nigerians, we love you.
I love you too.
Thank you. So donate to the funding of Grandma's new house. Where Grandma lives at the moment is no longer habitable. It is just sitting on the canal, that river. In fact, that she's still there is a risk because this is rainy season. So whenever it's raining heavily, I'm always scared. But somehow, something is protecting her. But she will move to a new place. So let me give you the account number again. 02 06 27 5094 Union Bank. Account name Splash FM Welfare Unit. That is the account name. Donate to the building of Grandma's house. The lines are open. Let's hear from you. Hello.
Good morning, Edmond Obilo.
Good morning.
My name is Jasper Yorin Debola. And I'm calling you from Orison Barry, opposite Wire and Cable.
Happy to hear your voice.
I want to thank God and thank you for the intervention on behalf of this grandma. But you have just said one thing now that moved me to call. That house is very near to canal and we are in rainy season. Can she be relocated temporarily pending the completion of that building? That's my own question. Thank you and God bless you.
We'll think about that. And Grandma is also going to be part of that decision. Thank you for raising that point. The lines are open.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, this is Joseph.
Yes, Joseph.
I'm calling you from Olonde, Ibadan.
Yes.
I want to contribute to your program. I really want to appreciate you and the chairman and everybody, the work you've put in so far. I am short of words. I don't think people like you exist anymore, but I pray that God will continue to use you to do better works ahead in Jesus' name.
Amen.
The grandma issue, I've been following it for a very long time now, up to the time you went for leave, and I never knew you will still come back and revisit this story. So it shows that you are a good person. And I tell you, the government should consider people like you in high-ranking posts to take Nigeria to the next level. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Amen.
Good morning, Grandma.
Good morning, sir.
Take care of yourself, ma. It is well. It is well.
Thank you. The lines are open. This is a partnership, so we want to also hear from you. We are happy to hear your voice, so please contribute. We are listening. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Obilo.
Yes, good morning.
This is Apple. I want to appreciate you. In fact, when you start the program this morning, I wanted to phone in and ask you that what is the case of Mama? How far about the case of Mama? I never knew that Mama is coming to the studio today. I just want to appreciate you. And at the same time, I want to advise that as you follow up Mama's case, I want you to be following up all other things. You made mention of our rules in the course of your program today. You made mention of governor as your friend. I want you to be a follow-up journalist. Go to the governor for us. Follow up some of these things that you have mentioned, and let it be done. And I want to appreciate you once again. And I pray that you will go to a higher place. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you for calling the radio station. The lines are open. Let's hear from you. Settle has settled Grandma's plight. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, it's okay.
All right, okay.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning, ma.
Eddie, thank you very much for the effort. And of course, to let us start government, please start we talk and we train us. So, Grandma, I think by that we should just rest. I know Eddie will not drop it until what the chairman has promised comes to pass. Then I also use this to call on everybody. Please, let's go support this fund. Let's give Grandma a really they feel peace of mind. Because even at that man has not rested yet. She is not stand on she's out of that place. So I appeal to everybody. Please, let's do it. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Let's hear from you. The lines are open. 080-915-51055. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, the line went up the other time. We appreciate you from this and also the local government chairman. But what I want to really talk about is the issue of leadership. You know, you are talking about leadership this month. And we need to really re-engineer our attitude. I mean, because I didn't expect that at this time, because I was following Mama's case. I didn't expect that we would still be at this point. The government should be out. I want to advise the local government chairman. If it means that we have to take this, similar issues like this, I take this thing as a whole package issue, that the government has a program, a policy, so that Mama will have been relocated immediately. Because Awolowo, we are mentioning it and we were talking about Awolowo this morning. What will Awolowo do if he were to be the one that is in government? If you think about it and you should try to really, do some things that will make people know that the government is changing, that, leadership is really doing what they are supposed to do. I don't believe that it should be a class that will be championing the government. The strikes are being to cause other people come in and, all those things. So please, Mama, we thank God. Okay, we just want you to take your mind off that place entirely, just like you have been advised. Just put your mind off. And it's good that you want to say it belongs to you, have this as your ownership, but when they relocate you, just make sure that you make yourself comfortable in that place and really treat life on a good note.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll take the last call on this subject. 080-569-98678 or 070-694. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This is Alaji Awelabogo, and I'm calling from Lanlate. I believe sincerely that government cannot provide everything for all human beings, or let me say for every citizen. But I believe we have work to do in our society, work to do in the town and in our community. As such, we can help each other. We can have the love of each other at the back of our mind. Now that it's given out the bank card details, I believe we have good Nigeria, good citizens of this state that can barely help. And most people will not like to mention it in the radio or publicize it. Now, I will enjoy other people, even with including myself, that we should do something tangible to revive this situation.
Thank you. Alhaji Ayla Bugu from Lalata.
Thank you, Alhaji. Mr. Chairman, thank you. We have to go now.
Thank you so much.
We have a house to build.
Definitely.
And we are building it.
By the special grace of God.
Grandma, we are building a house.
Amen.
We have taken off.
Thank you very much.
There's a house to build. So contribute your quota. Edmond, contribute. Bosun, contribute. Everybody contributes. Account number 0 Union Bank. Account name Splash FM Welfare Unit 02 06 27 5094. Account number again 02 06 27 5094. I am Edmondo Bilo. I worked with Bosun Alayode to bring you this edition of State Affairs. I worked with Ayo. I worked with Miriam. Shinwo Balano. Everyone that contributed to this production, including you listening, I appreciate you. I appreciate Grandma. I appreciate the chairman of Oluyole Local Government, Seto Bupola. Next week is another time. I am Edmondo Bilo. Thank you for listening.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
Countdown 4, 3, 2, 1.
Get the box, get the box. Feel the music. On your radio. Splash, the height of entertainment.
BBC News with Debbie Russ. Wildfires are threatening 2 Canadian cities as the country deals with its worst fire season on record. A state of emergency has been declared in British Columbia, where a major blaze is burning west of Kelowna. 20,000 people have fled Yellowknife, much further north. The National Weather Service in the United States has issued its first ever tropical storm warning for California. Hurricane Hillary is expected to hit a sparsely populated area of Mexico first, before losing some of its power and moving north. China has launched another major military exercise around Taiwan, following stopovers in the US by the island's vice president. Beijing said the drill was aimed at discouraging Taiwanese independence. Vladimir Putin has paid a visit to Rostov-on-Don, the headquarters for Russia's military offensive in Ukraine. It's the first time he's been to Rostov since mercenaries from the Wagner Group staged a brief mutiny there. The World Athletics Championships have just begun in Budapest, the largest sporting event Hungary has ever hosted. The biggest names in track and field will compete over the next 9 days. One of the biggest and most controversial figures in Thai politics could return home from 15 years of self-imposed exile next week. Thaksin Shinawat's daughter said the ousted former Prime Minister would fly to Bangkok on Tuesday. Iranian state media say 2 police have been killed in a gun battle in the city of Esfahan. The 2 officers were responding to reports of a shooting when a gunman opened fire on them. Australia and Sweden are facing each other in the third-place playoff match in the Women's Football World Cup. Australia hope to give home supporters something to cheer after failing to reach the final, but have just gone down 2 goals. That's the latest BBC News.
The world